All right, good morning, folks, and welcome to Day 3 action here at the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships. My name is Tony Lightfoot, and I'll be providing to you coverage on Lake 1 for the balance of the day. Lake 2 will be up and running in just a few moments, but here's the Star Spangled Banner. All right then, folks, we've got the schedule up on your screen right now on Lake 1, which is the lake that I'll be announcing for. We're starting at 7 a.m. with boys 5 trick, then we go women's 4 and 5, then men's 4, then masters women, and then we're going to go headlong into the jump event to continue on with Lake 1. Lake 2 actually starts rather unusually with the tricks event. It's one of the very rare times that we actually have a tournament trick event on Lake 2, except for the final day's action of a typical collegiate nationals in Division 2. But here, so far as the nationals are concerned, a rather unusual occurrence. Lake 2 tricking with boys 2, and then right after that we go into girls 5 and 3 slalom, boys 3 slalom, men 5 and 3, boys. And then we'll continue on there with the remainder of the slalom event. All right, so a great action to come. And so stick around, folks. Air temperature right now about 75 degrees, but that will only get hotter when in the ensuing hours. Water temperature doesn't change that much from day to day. It's in the high 80s towards the 90s. Not a breath of wind out there. With the latest data coming to us from the local NOAA station at Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport. All right then, folks. We've got plenty of skiing to come. We've got a few minutes before, so sit tight. Grab your favorite seat. Grab your favorite beverage. We've got some great skiing to come, and it's all coming to you courtesy of these sponsors: USA Water Ski and Wake Sports, Goode and Tri-Lakes, along with Nautique Mastercraft and Malibu Marine Power. OJ Props, Ski Safe Insurance, Masterline, Shoulder Sphere, and our ski manufacturer sponsors are HO Syndicate, Radar Skis, D3, and Conley. All right.
I'm rising up now. No, I won't back down. Taking my shot now. Make you my background. I'm rising up now. No, I won't back down. Taking my shot now. Make you my background. Not a fan of your presence. I guess you never learned your lesson. This is my time and you can't take it from me. You can't take it from me. I don't think you wanna taste this.
I've been skiing on the Energy R1 for a little over a year now. Before the R1, I was on the original Energy, and I was skiing great on that ski. I really had no problems with it, but whenever they released the R1 with the wider forebody up front, it made the ski so much easier to stay balanced and have equal turns on both sides.
So from my very first set on the NRG R1, I could just feel that this ski's just really balanced through the wakes and through the turns, and I found that I could just turn my onside turn better. I think that's because the tail of the ski just allows a little bit more water to flow through it, so it just rides through the tail of the onside turn better. That's definitely the big thing that I felt was different, and that's why I was really happy to be able to get on that ski straight away.
All right then, folks, we're going to start with boys 5 tricks on Lake 1, but before we do, we're going to send that boat down the lake with the simulation pass. Actually, as a matter of fact, we've got a choice of 3 boats that our trickers can choose from, as is typically the case in the tricks event. And I'll be announcing on the tricks on Lake number 1, and Keith Morgan will be... Keith Morgan will be announcing for Boys 4 Tricks. As I mentioned, rather unusual to actually have a tournament tricking on Lake number 2, and that'll only occur once between now and the end of the competition. Maybe if we're maybe depending upon the entries, we may have to shuffle one or two other things. But there you go. Got Boys 4 Tricks on Lake 2. We got Boys 5 Tricks on Lake 1. So, there's Keith Morgan on your left and my right. And that's me, Tony Lightfoot. And weather's looking pretty good. And there's our air temperature right now, around about 75 degrees, and probably getting hotter by the minute. All right, on our running order, we're going to have Landry Nelson take into the water first, then Isaac Lawler, along with Colin Frushi, then Jack White, Trey Snell, Brody Keller, Luke Tim, so great conditions, and we've got some tricking ahead already. Our first skier is pretty much ready to go. It will be Wilson Spence on Lake 2 for Boys 4 Tricks. All right, first tricker out on the water. It's on boys 5. We've got Landry Nelson. Let's see what he's got for us in store. Going past the green ball. Judges and drivers under no obligation to move the boat speed from that point. Each of our trick skiers actually gives a sheet to the boat that will actually have the correct boat speeds for each pass. Here's Landry Nelson, tries to go for either a reverse slide or a reverse 180. Unfortunately, not able to get either one. And Landry Nelson swimming at the moment, and we'll see the instant replay on pass number 1. So simultaneous tricking right now. Those of you that are watching on Lake 2's coverage are seeing Wilson Spence trick. Also, Landry Nelson gets ready to go for his second and final 20-second pass in boys 5. Here comes Landry Nelson behind the Mastercraft towboat. Now in the tricks event, each of our skiers has a choice of their preferred towboat. Could be Malibu, could be Mastercraft, could be Nautique. One that they used to so far as the weight configuration is concerned, and just general level of comfort to ski behind. And Wilson Spence will be taking this one into the dock on Lake 2, but Landry Nelson on Lake 1. So Landry Nelson back with his second and final 20-second pass. There we go with the attempt to the wrap back, which I think he gets. Tries to do the same thing here, trying his hardest to slide that ski around without pulling so much. Ooh, handle goes up a little bit high, and he goes down as a result. So a good effort there. We'll see what kind of points that yields. All right, so Landry Nelson, the first of our 19 skiers in this particular division of tricks, boys 5. They're continuing at a pretty rapid pace on boys 4. So next skier to come should be Isaac Lawler. All right, let's continue to roll our second boat with our second skier, Isaac Lawler, on the water right now. Here is Isaac Lawler. Not looking too bad, trying his best to stay on top of the water. Not too sure what he's trying to do here. It's and goes with the 360-degree spin, and unfortunately goes down as a result. But pulled off the two side slides, and well, actually one side slide, and then he went into his 180 to the back and slid to the front. So there, Isaac Lawler towards the end of that instant replay, trying to figure out a way to do the surface O. Spun towards the back, realized the rope was going to get pulled out of his hands as soon as he went to the back, and unfortunately had to succumb to the fall. So there we go. That is Isaac Lawler, our second skier out. He's halfway through his effort. Second and final 20-second pass coming to you momentarily. Here comes Isaac there, a second and final 20-second pass. Let's see if he's got anything on top of the tricks that he performed earlier. Goes for the wrap back and unfortunately takes a fall there. And he will swim into the shore after that effort there. That's Isaac Lawler. Realizes it's pretty shallow there. All right, so we've got coming up next, we've got Colin Frushi, a third skier out in this tricks event. Now, Mastercraft has been selected as the boat of choice for the first couple of competitors. Now we're going with the Nautique with our next competitor, Colin Frushi. Nicely done. Trying his best to stay up there with the surface O. There's the tries to flip that ski round to try a 540-degree surface spin. So good effort all the way around, and we'll see what he can do with pass number 2 coming up after the instant replay. Looks like he's got good knee bend. He's got good foundation there, and that certainly helped him out a bundle whenever he attempted the wake back and wake front. All right. Back with the action. I'm Tony Lightfoot on the right-hand side of your screen, and there is Keith Morgan, who is announcing the tricks on the other webcast. We've got two simultaneous webcasts, as has been the case for the last couple of days. Here are your event sponsors: USA Water Ski and Wake Sports, Tri-Lakes, and Good Carbon Innovation, along with our official towboat partners of USA Water Ski and Wake Sports. And a webcast sponsor, Splash Eye, Ski It Again, and the American Water Ski Association's 5 regions. Okay, here comes Colin Frushi. Ooh, and handle up going up a little bit high as he attempted a back-to-back and unfortunately going down rather early. So no more scoring from Colin as we work our way down to about the 1/4 mark of this event. We're in boys 5 trick. I beg your pardon. Jack White is our next combatant out on the water. We'll see what he can cobble up between now and the end here. All right, folks, Jack White getting the boat speed set. Past that green buoy, now past the red. Keeping the flow going. Oh, nicely done with the surface. Oh, here's the reverse. Staying pretty stable on that ski, edging out. Probably toying with the idea of trying to flip and unfortunately bulking out of that notion. But getting most of the tricks that he wanted to. So there we go. That's Jack White on pass number 1. Trick towards the back, and unfortunately All right, folks. Trey Snell is our next competitor on the water. We'll get our first look at Trey Snell in just a moment or so. Here we go. Trey Snell actually taking a rather unusual route compared to a couple of competitors that we've seen up to this point, going with 2 skis. There we go, going across the back of the boat, across the wakes. Wake back, wake front. Looking in good shape, Trey Snell. Good effort there, and we'll see if he'll be frisky enough to transition from 2 skis to 1. So Trey Snell doing a grand job there. All right then, folks, for those of you that are watching us right now, thank you for joining us. This is the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships. My name is Tony Leifert, your announcer for Lake 1 action. It looks like Trey Snell has opted to take one of his skis off and put it in the boat, and we'll be looking to throw in some 1-ski tricks to supplement the points that he scored on the basis of his 2-ski tricks on pass number 1. Here comes Trey Snell, pass number 2, around that turn island and looking in good shape. All righty-roo, here we go. Oh, good spins in either direction. Continuing to hold his position on top of the water. This is Trey Snell. And the handle getting up a little bit and forcing his weight to the back of the ski. Now he's going to go with a surface 5, which he manages to pull off. And good skiing there. That is Trey Snell. So Trey Snell, boys 5 trick in. He'll leave the way clear for Brody Keller to come up next. All right, actually, we got Brody Keller in the course right now. Here he goes with the surface tricks, going at a very high tempo there, but unfortunately, kind of getting ahead of himself there with the wake back. So we've seen Brody Keller. They're falling on pass number 1, electing to go with the Mastercraft. As I mentioned, each of our competitors has the option of choosing their own boat for the Tricks event. Malibu and Nautique are available, as is the Mastercraft that you see there in that white and I won't call that teal. Maybe if the pictures were a little bit darker, it might turn out to be teal, but I would say that that would be a slightly closer to a fluorescent green. So, tricking galore on both lakes, and Brody Keller getting ready on pass number 2. Brody Keller in for his second pass. Looks like he's going to wind up for the flip. Oh, nicely tried there, but not getting much elevation on top of the wake, and his weight distribution was a little bit towards the back of his ski. You'll see that in just a moment. Working his way through the wake back-to-backs and not looking too bad at all at that point. And then he edged out, giving us an indication he tries to flip. Kind of rolled a little bit with his head rather than with his hips, and not allowing the ski to fully rotate underneath him and complete the move. So that was Brody Keller. Our next competitor up is going to be Luke Tim. Oh, and Luke Tim getting into all sorts of trouble there with the back-to-backs on the surface. The first one taking a real early dive there with that opening move. That was Luke Tim. And good morning to you, good folks. I'm Tony Lightfoot on the right-hand side of the desk. On the left-hand side there that you're looking at is Keith Morgan. And he's announcing the action on Lake 2. You can find that on the other player. So great to have the pleasure of your company. You've been tuning in your thousands over the last couple of days, and may that continue between now and the end of the National Championships, which will be on Saturday. A little bit higher temperature now, starting to creep up towards the 80-degree mark. Water temperature still pretty high as well. Wind almost non-existent. So good conditions as we get ready to bring Luke Tim back into the course for his second and final 22nd pass. All right, here we go. We got Luke Tim, second pass. So Luke Tim and his father, a member of the United States water ski adaptive water ski team. Family sport. Here we go. Luke Tim, all nicely done with that wake back to back, and there's the reverse now. Keeping the tempo up high. Trying to make up for lost time. Opted to go with a repeat of pass number 1. Not wanting to go with toe tricks if under the assumption that he had any. There we go. Waco from the outside to in. And certainly pounding down the points. And we'll see where that puts him on the leaderboard once we start getting a few trick scores coming through. Is his boys 5 tricks at the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships. So it looks like there's a bit of an issue there with the speed on Lake 1. I don't know if the competitor has been informed of that yet, but we'll try and get some more information as we receive. All right, keeping the flow going. This is Edward Roberts. Keeping it rolling from one end of the course to the next. Keeping that handle very tight to the hip. Good short pull there. Oh, Wake 5 back. Nails that one. Good, solid opening pass there for Edward Roberts. All right then, so we've got on the water now Edward Roberts. We should have some point scores come through. We've got a leaderboard of 5 trick and results at this time. We can tell you. We'll give you that information right after the this pass of Edward Roberts. All right, Edward Roberts, now second and final 20-second pass, toe tricks. Oh, I like what he's doing right now, keeping him, a little bit out of sorts there with the toe wake front, but looking to pile on the points now with the step sequence on the outside the wake. Foot in the back binding, maybe a side slide or two, but he manages to snag both 20-second runs. Looking in remarkably good shape, I would say. All right, here we go. From the Bluegrass State of Kentucky, this is Austin Collins. Electing to go with the Malibu. Trying to keep a good tempo going. Handle pinned to his hip there for the back-to-backs. Oh, here we go. Here's the first flip. Could we see that? Oh, and don't think it was the first flip attempted, but probably the closest one that we've seen to being landed and ridden out. This is boys 5 tricking. Austin Collins. All right then, folks, continuing to roll right along. We've still got the score for Isaac Lawler to come, and also that of Ed Roberts. But Austin Collins is getting ready for his second and final 20-second pass. I wonder if it's going to be toe tricks. We are at the... We are, I believe, at the halfway point of the proceedings right now. We've got 19 skiers. We are on 9th skier. Actually, our 10th skiers are... yeah, it is actually our 9th skier. I do beg your pardon. All right, here we go. We have got Austin Collins with pass number 2. Just staying close to the wakes. Oh, and the toe foot getting a little bit out of control there. There's the line. Oh, he's going to try there the backflip again. Oh, it comes up a little bit short there, and it's a decent effort there. He definitely went for the gusto there and just could not get the weight off his back foot. But good effort once again there from Austin Collins. Fletcher Holm now. So Fletcher Holm out of the Rocky Mountain State of Colorado. Keeping the flow going, keeping a good pace on that particular run. Waco out. Doesn't try the Waco going back in. Tries a couple of surface O's instead to pack up the points. But a high tempo exhibited at the start. And but as soon as he started to shut it down in favor of getting those surface O's, things started to get a little pear-shaped for him. So Fletcher Holm now. Pass number 2 coming up momentarily. Okay, so good skiing exhibited so far from Fletcher Holm. Just trying to get warmed up for the tricks to come in pass number 2. Couple of side slides and nicely done. The first completed flip that we've seen so far. There's the second one. That's the flip reverse. Does he have anything left? He spins to the back. Here he goes with the flip twist back to front. Goes for the flip twist front to back as well. But definitely sending it out there. That is Fletcher Holm doing his best to pile up the points, and I think those flips alone would constitute about 1,500 points by themselves, at the very least. So now, reckon his point score is going to be approaching the 2,500 point mark, maybe a little bit more on the strength of those flips, but good effort nonetheless by Fletcher Holm. All right, Kate Stockstill is our next competitor. So now we've just seen Kate Stockstill go through his opening pass. Let's see what he can do for an encore. Here comes Kate Stockstill. Back flip. Now we're starting to see some higher echelon tricking here. Goes for the flip twist back, a little laissez-faire approach into that particular move. But Kate Stockstill will head on into the shore. We'll have a look at the instant replay in just a moment for Kate Stockstill. Certainly gets the boat speed set up right, and definitely within his comfort zone, and behind that Nautique, regular black flip. Drives on into the wake, shoulder charge. Sometimes you have to do that for the reverse flip, because it is a rather awkward launch for that particular move, and even more awkward is the landing on the regular flip. And Kate Stockstill, he'll be swimming into shore after that effort. All right, now after Kate Stockstill, we have got our next competitor on the water, Samuel Weber. So Samuel Weber or Weber, certainly the spelling, his last name spelling would suggest the latter, considering that there is a university called Weber State. So that's what I'm going along with, Samuel Weber. Trying, I believe, a ski line towards the end there, but getting off to a decent start with the surface back-to-backs, then went for the wake back-to-back. Hopping around off that wake. Tries to go for the ski line back, and unfortunately not able to complete that. All right, Samuel Weber now. Having fallen on his ski line back, will now be coming back in for his second and final 20-second pass. This is your announcer, Tony Lightfoot, on Lake 1. On my right and to your left on the screen is Keith Morgan, with a little assistance there, announcing the Lake 2 tricks, which you'll find on the other webcast player. The boys 4 tricks are going down there. Ooh, and on the water there, Samuel Weber there, getting into all kinds of shape there with the second and final 20-second run. Just not getting all of it done there for him. And there are certainly some skiers out there that feel more comfortable with doing hand tricks. And I think Samuel Weber would definitely fall into that category. Tried his best with the opening toe trick to get that stable, but just couldn't get it done, I'm afraid. So that is Samuel Weber. Next competitor up is Evan Robbins. We're on skier number 13 of 19. Oh, and going down pretty hard on the opening pass was Evan Robbins. Going down on the first trick. We're going to see look at that instant replay. Oh, and that was an attempt at a wake 5 back and just couldn't get the edge going. Tried to throw the spin anyway. Oh, and there we go. An alternate angle there, hitting the very top of the wake. Ooh, huge and fall there for Evan Robbins, and we'll see what he can do. He's got the option to repeat that pass, of course, which actually might yield more points than the scheduled toe pass. But those options are available to him. Looks like that line is being brought into the boat and could well be swapped out for a toe hold, rope, and ski configuration. All right, getting ready to get back into the course is going to be Evan Roberts. So skiers to come after him. Carter Hooton is coming up fairly soon, along with James Bryant, Zach Butterfield, Ryan Gay, and Blaze Grubbs. Here comes Evan Robbins. Going through this toe sequence, and probably was a wide. Oh, look at that! A very rapid spin into the toe wrap and into toe wake go. Oh, and that toe wake line back, and that ski went pretty much higher than his head as he came off the wake, and exhibiting a tricking technique there, very reminiscent of a one Torre Baggiano, the late great Torre Baggiano, at least towards the end anyway. Just absolutely just whips that toe into wrapping. Oh, and that ski was going in a downward direction there. Oh, and the ski got caught there with the toe wake line back. Just throwing everything in the kitchen sink into that effort. Next competitor up should be Coleman Norton. So Coleman Norton out of the volunteer state of Tennessee, approaching the course now. Nicely done with the opening step sequence. Looking in very, very good shape indeed. Looks like he's going to do a flip. Yes, indeed he does, and recovers well from that. And 20 seconds should expire at that point. There you go. Coleman Norton. Not putting too much of a foot wrong here. Literally, with that step sequence. Started with a wake line back and then threw in a line back and a line front before coming into the wake and getting down to business with the two flips that he had towards the end. Should pile on the points there splendidly for him. All right then, folks, take a look at our schedule. Those are the events taking place today on Lake 1 and Lake 2. We're back with Coleman Norton in just a moment or so. Getting up to a decent clip here. Oh, there we go. Surface O into the wrap there, going into the Waco out. Oh, beautifully executed there. He's happy with that. That is Coleman Norton. So, going very cagily through this pass. His second and final hand pass. Don't see too many tricks being repeated here. He had flips towards the end of pass number 1. But started off with toe tricks and then transitioned to hands very, very quickly. All right, next competitor up is going to be Carter Hooden. Coming to us out of Austin, Texas, this is Carter Hooten. All right, continuing to roll there. And Carter Hooden with some one-footed side slides. Carter Hooten cutting a pretty good figure in this this tricks event with some wake back-to-backs. So Carter Hooten, part of a multi-generational water ski family. I'm sure that that Carter has his grandparents watching from their home in Austin, Texas. And certainly we'll see more from him within the second and final 22nd pass. That's the latest leaderboard from the points I've been able to obtain so far. Edward Roberts with 1440 points. And actually, the leaderboard has changed a little bit. Cade Stockstill with 2580. Fletcher Holm with 2550. Austin Collins with 1740. Edward Roberts with 1440. And Brody Keller with 1260. We'll have more points for you coming up very, very soon. Okay, looks like Carter Hooden approaching the course there. Didn't like how the boat speed was being set, so he decided to throw the handle before the tricking course. And the boat will pick him up, and they'll have a quick discussion with the officials to discuss the validity of that protest. Okay, Carter Hooden appears to be satisfied with that speed now. All right, keeping the flow going and already working his way through these tricks, trying to be as stable as possible obviously carrying a knee injury. That's why you see him with that knee brace. All right, so looking at Carter Hooten, also battling a little bit of an ear infection. If that ear covering on the left ear is anything to go by, and Carter Hooten getting all the way through that 22nd pass and should see the points as a reflection of that. James Bryant now coming in on pass number 1. Here's James Bryant setting himself up well for a success on this particular pass. Up to a certain point. Going down pretty hard towards the end there. All right, we've got James Bryant getting ready to head back into the course in just a moment or so with his second and final 22nd pass. James Bryant. All right, here we go. And prior to bringing James Bryant into the course, you saw a few of our individual contributors that are making this webcast possible through our crowd sharing initiative, crowdfunding initiative. I beg your pardon. There's the toe 5 back, looking decent, looking in good shape, trying to jockey from one end of the course to the next. Now edging out, setting himself up, landing a little bit short on the backflip, but he still manages to ride it out, and that's extra points. And that is courtesy of James Bryant. All right, Zach Butterfield now. Behind that Nautique towboat, there we go with the 5 back. Wake back to back, or wake 5 front there as well. Flowing from one end of the course to the next. There's the ski line back. Does he have anything left to go? Oh, goes for the ski line back to back and gets caught up in the rope. Not getting much in the way of elevation or spin through the top of the wake, but a decent opening pass. Boys 5 trick in. These competitors aged under 17 and older than 15. Oh, and just does not get it to go there as Zach Butterfield. Chest not as high as he would like. And looking down for the majority of that trick, that is Zach Butterfield. That's me on the right, announcing for the tricks on Lake 1. And there is Keith Morgan over there on the opposite side of the desk. He's announcing for the other webcast on Lake 2. Okay, and the latest scores that we've gotten through so far, we've got still waiting on a whole bunch of scores to be released. K-Stock still in the lead with a 25.80. Fletcher Holm with 25.50. There's Austin Collins in 3rd, Evan Robbins in 4th, and Samuel Weber in 5th. Those are your top 5 right there, and the remaining scores you see underneath. Coming in right now, we have got Zach Butterfield looking to go in for a toe 720-degree wrap, front-to-front spin. Oh, and spins out, and that's one of the risks that one takes in using that particular trick to start off. You have to be absolutely perfect over the ski, and the initial spin, the weight was starting to shift towards the back foot, and he just was not able to get his weight distribution right. About halfway through the turn, his shoulders opened up, his foot was getting separated from the body, and unfortunately, for him, it's a goodbye, Mr. Bond. Next competitor up, coming to us from Central Florida, it'll be Ryan Gay. Right, here comes Ryan Gay. All right, so there we go. 2 mode back-to-backs. Front flips. Good effort there. Look at this. Now he's going to go in for his... Does he go in for his 6th flip? No, he performs 5 of them. There we go. Ski line back-to-back. Losing his composure towards the end and just couldn't get it together right towards the end. But I tell you what, some good aerial stuff there at the beginning, but for some reason just couldn't get settled down in time for the ski lines. Boom, just hits that one absolutely splendidly. Then it goes for the 180 back to front flip. There's another front flip there. Flip twist to the back. Bulks out on that for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but then he had to basically switch things up a little bit with the 180 to the back. Ski line back to back. Rather late with that turn. Recovers from it well enough to do the Waco and just drops the handle for some reason. Not too sure why. So there we go. Ryan Gay opening pass, and we'll see what he's got for pass number 2. All right, then, Ryan Gay, second and final 22nd pass coming up momentarily, and electing to ride behind the Nautique towboat. We've got updates to the scoreboard. We've got James Bryant. He's gotten 30 to 20 points. And that currently puts him at the top, but I'm sure that the performance from Zach Butterfield is going to have something to say about where the lead position is right now. Here we go. This is Ryan Gay. Toe back-to-backs. Dropping in with the toe wake back-to-back. Bulks out on the reverse, though, but a couple of toe sides. Toe wrap in. And toe 5 back. Oh, nicely done. Good maneuvers here. Oh, yes, nicely done there. And stand up all the way through. Splendid looking toe pass, trying to compensate as much as he can for the fall that he took towards the latter part of his first pass. And just look at how exquisite that toe wrapping was. Extended that trick that was spun out of it to a toe 5 back, and then went to a toe 5 front. Then just shaking it off, as it were. All right, now we're on to our last competitor. This is Blaze Grubbs. First trick he's going to try will be the flip twist back-to-back, which he gets. There's another mode back-to-back. Gets that one done. A third the way through the available flips that he can do. There's the front flip. He's halfway done. There we go. There we go with a regular. There's a flip twist to the back. Flip twist back to front. He's done with his flips. Now he's going to go with the wake 5 back. Ski line back-to-back. He is all kinds of pumped up here, and he gets it all the way through that opening pass. That is Blaze Grubbs. So looking at the instant replay, oh, absolutely, that would have turned most people into a pretzel there with the front flip. Just worked his way from one end of the course to the next. Blaze Grubbs doing a fine job there with the opening pass of handle tricks. Went quickly from one to the next, and then had to kind of slow the tempo down for the wake 5 back before he went in for the ski line back. Landed late on that one. And Waco towards the end, and that just seals the deal with pass number 1. All right, so we have got our last skier on the water. It's Blaze Grubbs. Looking from the boat side camera, we're looking at Blaze Grubbs once again with his handle tricks, letting the handle go out to the side a little bit, but managing to maintain control all the way throughout that second and first of 2 20-second passes with the handle moves. Looking to snag the boys' 5 national trick title with this effort that you see right here, but he's only halfway done. His second and final 20-second pass that we're going to see live right now. Here we go. There we go. Toe 5 front, toe 0 out, toe 0 back in, toe Waco. Drops in for the toe wake line back. Very subtle there. Hardly noticed that he did that trick. All right, nicely done there. Blaze Grubbs, I believe, doing enough for the national title. Looked pretty safe on this pass. Good knee bend, and excellent skiing. So looking towards the end of this toe pass, we are at the end of boys 5 tricking. We'll try and get some point scores to you as quickly as possible. So women's 4 tricking coming up next. And we'll have that to you right after this. Here we go. We're into women's 4 tricks right now. Not too much of a delay between boys 5 and women's 4 tricks. Sets herself up well with the first tricks on her pass. Wake back. There we go with the wake front, slide in that one over the wake. And good skiing all the way through, I would say. So doing some rather rudimentary tricks on her opening pass of 2. This is Cheryl. All right, then, here we go. We got Cheryl Frank now coming in on pass number 2. Looking pretty good, Cheryl Frank. Dedicating this pass towards her wake tricks, so trying to get a few more points under her belt as a result. So Cheryl Frank continuing to roll here, just being cautious out there with the wake tricks that she has planned here at the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships. Okay, electing to go with 2 trick skis. This is Amy Carr. Steady as she goes with the 180s. Now handle pass behind her back with the 360. Oh, nicely done. Both in both directions now going in for the 720 and letting the handle go, unfortunately. Amy Carr doing pretty well. Even though she's using 2 different type of binding configurations. One ski has a hard shell binding, which has definitely revolutionized the way people control their trick skis. Whilst on her other ski, she's using the regular Wiley's binding. But I think she will transition to one ski very, very soon. Might even do so right now. Amy Carr. Yep, and short pulled that 720 a little bit prior to the second rotation. And just looking at the instant replay for Amy Carr with the tricks attempted on one ski. I think actually trying a 180 to the back, looking outside the wake for smoother water. Actually went for the wake back and handle pin to a hit, but unfortunately not much in the way of rotation there. That is Amy Carr. All right, next skier up is Jenny Withrow. Oh, and there we go, Jenny Withrow getting a good ways down that pass, but unfortunately unable to get all the way to the end. Starting off with a surface O, which she managed to get off pretty smoothly, and just working her way through the other rudimentary tricks that would constitute her opening pass. Sliding across the wake and attempting a 180 to the back, but unfortunately the ski sliding out from underneath for you. That is Jenny Withrow. All right, we are approaching the halfway point of this section of tricks, which is women's 4. Jenny Withrow, third skier out, second and final 20-second pass. Let's see what she has. And here comes Jenny Withrow getting through her toe tricks. Oh, nicely done with the Wake-O. And a couple of side slides. Just throws them in there just in case they weren't scored on the opening pass. There you go, 180 to the back and to the front. A toe side. Does she go for the reverse, I wonder? No, she attempts that again just to make sure it's absolutely scored. Wrap toe side and the handle coming off the foot. And then she cruised on the outside the wake and attempted and completed the wake 360-degree spin. And there's that 360 of hers. Wonderful stuff. Next competitor up is Sandy Kovacs. All right, so Sandy Kovacs looking smooth for the most part. All right then, folks. Okay, and it looks like we've got some more scores for the leaderboard on our previous division, which is boys 5, if we can throw that up for a second. And we'll see the point differential between Blaze Grubbs and Ryan Gay. These are provisional. This is a provisional leaderboard. Blaze Grubbs 7-3-20, 30 points higher than Ryan Gay with 7-2-90, and James Bryant's there in third place ahead of Kate Stockstill and Fletcher Holm. We've still got 3 scores to come to complete that leaderboard. We're missing a score from Carter Hooton, Coleman Norton, and indeed Isaac Lawler. But I don't think the leaderboard is going to move that much on the strength of those scores. Maybe one would lose a 5th position possibly, but not much beyond that. Skier on the water at this time is Sandy Kovacs. So, and Sandy Kovacs dropping in. Just couldn't stay on pace with the pole and with the tow line. So she'll swim into shore and leave the way clear for our next competitor, who will be Kate Naffler. Kate Naffler now. So working away methodically from one trick to the next. Keeping her body position proper throughout these tricks. Mainly on the surface, hasn't really explored the wakes yet to attempt those tricks, although I would suspect she's leaving that for the second and final 20-second run. All right, here we go. Kate Naffler, second and final pass. Looks like she'll do toe tricks to start things off. Now, footer is out of the trap. Now she will go for the wake turns. Wake back and wake front. Let's see if she can muster a reverse out of this deal. There we go. Reverse wake back, reverse wake front. Goes, oh yes, and she's loving that, getting all the tricks that she wanted to right here, right now. Kate Naffler throws the celebratory fist out there. Kate Naffler doing a grand job there with the tricks that she had in her repertoire. Not attempting wake tricks on the opening pass, but are coming through in the clutch in the second pass with those wake tricks. Tried the wake back-to-backs, I think, shut it down there, and she's loving it. She's heading back to the dock. Next competitor up is going to be Kerry Morgan. All right, here is Kerry Morgan. Oh, working their way through these tricks very, very well indeed. To the back and surface backs and surface fronts. Nice, nicely done, and employing a similar strategy to Kate Naffler in going with the surface spins and turns without heading out towards the wakes quite yet, saving those tricks for the second pass. Having said that, she went for the wake back and wake front. Maybe she has some additional wake tricks in her repertoire beyond these that you see right here. But I'm definitely keen to see what she has on offer with the second and final 22nd pass. Here's Kerry Morgan, opens up with toe tricks. Edging out over the wake, toe wake back and toe wake front there, sending it. Goes for the line back and the line front. Working her way through the middle of this. Oh, and goes down with the wake line back. Falling about the three-quarter point in that run, but I'm sure that she'll be happy nonetheless with the effort that she just produced. So looking at the tail end of this effort here from Kerry Morgan, not committing fully to that wake line back and stepping over using the foot rather than with the knee. That results in the fall. All right then, Jennifer Wood now. And performing the wake line O to get things underway. Good little surface sequence now heading into the wake. Wake 5 attempted, I believe, a wake 5 front, but I don't think she quite got that off. There we go with the wake 5 back, hand to hand. But a good solid opening pass nonetheless. And that is Jennifer Wood. And looking in good shape, we've got on the water Jennifer Wood. Jinxing her way through these toe tricks, now going into a step sequence and looking in great shape there. And yeah, she's pleased with that effort, no doubt about that. That is Jennifer Wood. We'll see the instant replay very, very soon. Good effort. All right, our top-seeded skier in the women's 4 tricks. This is Jane Greenwood out of Scott in Arkansas, just a little ways out of Little Rock. Oh, look at this, and gets into that toe wrap in pretty successfully, but didn't quite grab the line and spin out in the same fashion as she went in. We should have some scores in a moment for women's 4 to display to you up on the screen. But we can see Jane Greenwood with some wrap toe side. Oh, and got into it fine, but spun out and things started going towards the back of the ski, and she just couldn't recover from it. All right, in women's 4, we've got some scores coming up in just a moment. There we go, Kate Naffler with 14:20 in the lead. Sandy Kovacs with 990, Jenny Withrow with 580, Amy Carr with 400, and Cheryl Frank with 280. Those are the available scores. Still waiting on the score for Kerry Morgan and indeed Jennifer Wood. All right, so here we go. We got we got Jane Greenwood coming into the course. Jane Greenwood. There we go. And here we go with second and final 20-second pass. This will consist of hand tricks. Spinning in, spinning out. Some surface back-to-backs now going in for the wake line back. Wake line back-to-back and step sequence towards the front. Now, let's see what she has to end off with. Wake 5 front, wake 5 back. Has got a couple of sides. And I think that might well be enough for the title in women's 4 competition. Good effort there. We've got the scoring for Kerry Morgan, and we'll add her to the leaderboard in just a moment. But we see Jane Greenwood here doing a fine job. Okay, we're into women's 5 trick now. We've got Kimberly Pelcher electing to go with 2 skis to get things up and running. Looking in pretty good shape and shutting it down. So Kimberly Pelcher doing a pretty darn good job out there with the opening pass, staying up all the way through. So dockside right now, our next competitor about to go, Shelley McCollum. But working her way around the island is Kimberly Pelcher. Let's see what she's got in addition to the two ski tricks that she produced a few moments ago. There we go. 5 to the back. Let's see if she can pull off the reserts. There we go. Excellent stuff. Spinning every which way. Our first competitor in women's 7 here at the 78th Water Ski National Championships. Been brought to you by Goode. Oh, and trying to get this 720-degree turn to go. So you can just tell by the expression on the face how much effort is being expended to get these tricks all the way through. Kimberly Pelcher. And I think at the end they're starting to get a little bit fatigued here with the 720, letting the handle go halfway into that spin. All right, skier on the water right now is Shelley McCollum. All right, Shelley McCollum now. Working her way from one end of the course to the next. I like what she's doing out there. And so does she, as a matter of fact. And looking in very, very good shape there, Shelley McCollum. And we'll look forward to seeing what she's got for us on her second and final 20-second pass. Okay, Shelley McCollum, second pass, taking a dive just a little bit too soon for her liking, I would imagine. All right, then continuing to move along with our tricks event, going on a pretty high clip here. All right, so Rhonda Gassman now. Continuing to go in women's 5 tricking. We'll have the provisional results flashed up on your screen in just a moment for the previous division, which is women's 4 tricks. There we go. That's Rhonda Gassman and getting ready for pass number 2. Let's flash up the totals for women's for tricking after we've seen Rhonda Gassman go through the instant replay here. But good, solid effort there all the way throughout. All right, so we've just seen Rhonda Gassman go through that instant replay for pass number 1. We'll have a look at the totals for women's 4 tricks, and Jane Greenwood doing enough for the provisional win with 36.40. Jennifer Wood with 31.10. Kate Naffler with 14.20. Kerry Morgan with 13.60, and Sandy Kovacs rounding off the top 5 with 990 points. Here's Rhonda Gassman. Oh yeah, Rhonda Gassman, absolutely giddy there with exuberance. Nice shot there from the boat for Rhonda Gassman. Getting through and the 2:20-second passes and loading up on the tricks that she wanted to. Okay, Tristina Lindsay, or Tina Lindsay as she's known to her friends. Wake lino to start things off. Drops in with the step sequence. Foot in the back binding. Works her way through from one trick to the next. Tristina Lindsay. Nicely done, Tristina Lindsay. All right, originally from Missouri, but making her home in Texas right now, that is Tristina Lindsay. All right, after seeing that, the replay on the that opening pass, let's see what she's got with toe tricks. Now that knee brace that's on her right knee probably doesn't give her much in the way of freedom of movement, but certainly necessary taking into account the injury that she suffered on that knee. Continuing to roll, good toe wake back and good toe wake front. Good knee compression there. Toe into wrap and on the back foot, and unfortunately unable to ride it out. But decent effort there from Tina Lindsay as she swims into shore. Okay, so we've gone through with women's 5 tricks. Now we're on to men's 4. Good effort there for our first competitor out in men's 4 tricking. That is Thomas Lawler. All right, so Thomas Lawler ready for his second and final 20-second pass. Should be coming our way in just a moment or so. Looks like we got a bit of a situation on Lake 2. Looks like an injury could have been sustained. Taking a big old hit and a big old crash through the exit gate. So as the situation on Lake 2 kind of resolves itself, we continue on with Lake 1 tricking. We've got on the water Thomas Lawler. We thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships, whether you're watching on Lake 1 or Lake 2. Your presence is very much appreciated. So there we go. Thomas Lawler trying to get into the more higher degree of rotational spin. So looking at Thomas Lawler trying to throw that ski down and handle getting a little bit high as he tried that wake back. But decent effort nonetheless. That is Thomas Lawler. Next competitor up should be Joseph Galante. All right, looks like we're actually scratching a couple of competitors. We've got Joseph Galante and Scott McMillan up next, but our next competitor is Craig Tim. Now, for those of you that have watched a webcast at the Waterski Broadcasting Company, you'll be quite familiar with Craig Tim because he competed at the World Adaptive Waterski Championships representing the United States of America in Skarnes in Norway. And an adaptive competitor who has an arm disability, as you can plainly see. I won't go too much into detail. All right, here we go with Craig Tim. And there you could see some absolutely amazing tricking here, taking into consideration what is very obvious to the eye. Craig Tim. Beautiful tricks, fantastic skiing for US Adaptive World Team member Craig Tim. Here we go, Craig Tim. Back with pass number 2. And he's actually going to try toe tricks here. Now, if there's one section of tricks that Craig should truly excel in, it'll be toe tricks. Oh, and having said that, going down pretty hard on pass number 2 on his second trick with the toe front. But certainly a credit-worthy effort there, giving credit where it's due. That is Craig Tim. Just got rolled over the front, taking a little bit too much pull there. And that is Craig Tim. All right. We are into our 4th skier on the list. We've had to scratch a couple. We've just seen Thomas Lawler and Craig Tim. Jay Combs is our next competitor in the tricks event, heading our way. Oh, and Jay Combs, ooh, just. I don't know I don't know whether that was a handoff throw or just a fall out of course. We'll find out. So just doing tricks out of course. Looks like got confused a little bit with the trick buoys because he's well into his trick run before he even reaches the course. So I don't know how that's going to shape up for Jay Combs. So on the right of your screen, I'm Tony Lightfoot. On the left-hand side of the screen, we've got Keith Morgan and company. They're providing the announcing and coverage on Lake 2, which is on the other webcast that's being streamed live right now from usawaterski.org's YouTube presence. Okay, looks like Jay Combs has been taken towards the end of the lake. He fell out of course, so I don't think any of the tricks that he performed at that point would have even scored. Here comes James Combs coming into the course. Looks like he's going to attempt toe tricks. All right, looking all right with the toe tricks and up to a certain point, and Jay Combs looking a little disappointed with his effort as he swims in. But he's got a small smattering of applause from his fan club along the shoreline. All right then, continuing to roll right along here with the tricks competition. Our next tricking competitor on this list should be Andy Griffin. All right, and here are our sponsors. So we've got a little bit of a break in the action. We've got USA Water Ski and Wake Sports, Tri-Lakes, Goode, our turbo partners, Nautique, Mastercraft, and Malibu, Marine Power, OJ Propski, Safe Insurance, Masterline, and Shoulder Sphere, along with Radar, HO Syndicate, D3, and Conley. All right, then here we go. This is Andy Griffin, Waco to get things up and running with the tricks event on Lake One. Men's 4 tricks. Oh, down he goes there and just trying to get his flow back. All right, so on the water as it stands right now, we have got Andy Griffin. All right, let's see what Andy Griffin's got for us behind that Mastercraft towboat. The last time that we will see this particular version of the Mastercraft Pro Star in the National Championships, Mastercraft have released a brand new version of this towboat. Oh, just trying to keep everything on an even keel here. This is Andy Griffin. Line front and line back, and it's got a 360-degree spin. Let's see if he can attempt the reverse. Yes, he can. Gets them both. Couple of sides, and he'll be relatively happy as a result of that second pass of well, hybrid, I would say, toe tricks and hand tricks. No worries. Here comes Daniel Gray now for his opener. From back to back to wrap there, from inside to out. Hopping his way over the wake. So there we go. That is Daniel Gray with his opening pass of tricks, and again a little unstable on that landing there with the weight back towards the end. Did the difficult part, which was getting there, but unfortunately was unable to continue right along. So there we go. We have got 5 competitors to come after Daniel Gray, as a matter of fact. Kirby Wetzel, Jason Weber, Pat Scholl, Kevin Withrow, and Rick Stallings. All right, then, here we go, David Gray. He's going to try the flip, and coming up a little bit short, but a fair play to him for trying. David Gray swimming into the shore, using that radar graviton trick ski. But doing okay for the most part. We'll see what his point score is in just a few minutes. It's probably going to take a little bit of time before we get results for men 4, but we'll continue right along. This is Kirby Wetzel. In good shape. Nicely done, keeping the flow. All right, stand up all the way through on that opening pass. That is Kirby Wetzel. So a little fist bump at the end there for Kirby Wetzel as he gets ready for pass number 2. Oh, Kirby, going in hard and early on pass number 2. Oh, and that went in pretty fast on that one. We'll take a look at his attempt at the toe wake back and just couldn't control his momentum going outside. Not very much in the way of knee bend to help him out with that. So there we go. That is Kirby Wetzel. Next skier getting in the water right now is Jason Weber. Here we go, Jason Weber now. With 2 20-second passes at his disposal to try and piling as much in the way of tricks as possible. So that's Jason Weber all the way through, standing up and doing a grand job. We'll have a look at the instant replay, see how he was able to get there. Looks like he put a position out of course there, a 180 to the back, which skiers are more than entitled to do. All right, so looking at the tail end of that pass from Jason Weber, and second and final coming up momentarily. Looking fairly strong at this time as he makes the turn round the West End Island on Lake 1. This is going to be Jason Weber. So here comes Jason Weber on pass number 2. There we go. Nicely done. With the wake line back and line front. Oh, excellent skiing there from Jason Weber, shining down about 5 seconds prior to the end. One of those hybrid passes of toes and hands. Jason Weber. 3 competitors to go after him, starting off with Pat Shaw. They now know what it takes to ascend the podium. We'll see if they've got the skill and the opportunity to do so. All right, so Jason Weber we've just seen. Pat Shaw comes up next. All right then, so we got Pat Shaw. Looking good there for Pat Shaw. And getting all the way through that opening pass for the most part. So hailing originally out of the Show Me state of Missouri. This is Pat Scholl. Good wake 5 back to open things out. So nicely done. Oh, and right up to a point with the wake line back, ski slipping out from underneath him, but he's okay. We'll see what Pat Scholl can do with the remaining tricks that he has on his second and final 20-second pass coming up momentarily. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching us on Lake One, I'm Tony Lyford on your right side of your screen. And there is Keith Morgan on the other side of the screen. Keith Morgan's presiding over the girls' slalom event. Whilst I, on Lake One, presiding over men's 4 tricks. This is Pat Scholl. Working his way through with the toe back-to-backs. Toe 5 front. Oh, and a slipping out on the toe 5 front. That is Pat Scholl. And getting a healthy dose of applause and support from his entourage here at Tri-Lakes in Zachary, Louisiana. For this, the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships. All right, nicely done. Taking a squeak peek over at the Slalom Lake and seeing Kristen Baldwin getting through a good ways on 38 off, 11.25 meters, and snagging the national championship title in the process. All right, so next competitor up is going to be Kevin Withrow. All right then, folks, here comes Kevin Withrow now. Our penultimate skier in men's 4 tricks. Setting himself well for the opening pass of tricks. Oh, and about About 75% of the way through on that opening pass of tricks. Just getting into a little bit of difficulty there. Got into a pretty deep hole on the first trick that he performed, but he started to get a little bit of momentum and speed, and the trick started to pile up. But then he got hitched forward a little bit on that 5 front. Then the ski line back, and unfortunately just got stuck in the back, and unfortunately not being able to rotate frontwards to recover his way out of that move. Here we go, our penultimate skier in the tricks event in men's 4. This is Kevin Withrow. So Kevin Withrow, a well-rounded overall competitor. Oh, and not too sure what happened there, but he seemed to shut down that toe pass a little early in favor of standing up. But there you go, Kevin Withrow with that second and final pass. Our next and indeed last competitor in this men's 4 category is going to be Rick Stallings. Now, from what I understand from the radio, there's apparently going to be a re-ride granted to Thomas Lawler, our first tricker, before we take Rick Stallings. All right, then, here we go. We got Thomas Lawler. He was on a little bit earlier. but for some reason he's been granted a re-ride here. Oh, going through these tricks one after the other, spinning like a top. There you go, surface back-to-backs on two skis, not the easiest trick to do. And he tried the wake back and came up a little bit short in that regard. But decent effort there from Thomas Lawler on a re-ride of his original performance. All right, we'll see if we can get Thomas Lawler back. Actually, this is going to be Rick Stallings, because that 1 attempt was for his was for one pass he chose to re-ride. So now we've re-ridden Thomas Lawler. Now we continue to go back to the schedule that sees Rick Stallings. There you go. Good effort there with Rick Stallings. Nice effort there with the lines, with the line sequence towards the end there. Good effort there from Rick Stallings. Started with the toe 5 back. And works his way through these maneuvers. So, Rick Stallings is seeing the tail end of that run. And a decent effort there from him. He's got one more pass to come. It's our final skier in men's 4. The leaderboard that you're seeing right now is from our previous division. For those of you that didn't catch it a little bit earlier on, we saw Jane Greenwood complete 36.40. And there you see the remainder of the results there. That was from women's 4 trick. All right, here we go. Rick Stallings, second and final 20-second pass. 20 seconds worth of tricks from him should determine where the men's 4 national title goes. Haven't been able to get much in the way of trick scores from this particular division, but once we do get them, we'll try and flash up the scoreboard to inform you. Here we go. Nicely done for Rick Stallings, ski line back. Continuing to trick there with the ski line back reverse. Here he goes, backflip. Oh, and case in the weight coming down and a little on the back foot anyway, but Rick Stallings, good effort there from him. And those tricks should be enough to see that the men's 4 national title goes his way. All right, not too bad with the ski lines. Rick Stallings. Oh, and brings the handle up and unfortunately unable to ride that out. But there you go, that is Rick Stallings. All right. Now, our next category of tricks is going to be Masters Women. Only 2 competitors compete in that particular division. We should see Laurie Covington take to the water first, followed by Brandy Nagel, and that would represent the end of our tricking action on Lake 1. Okay, next competitor up in Masters Women, this is Laurie Covington. Laurie Kruger Covington. Here she comes. Laurie, a member of that famous Kruger skiing family, which consists of multiple-time world champion Freddie Kruger. She has a sister, Julie Kruger, who's been a tournament skier for a pretty long time as well. So nicely done, Laurie Kruger there with a pretty stout-looking opening pass of tricks, and we'll see what she's got for a second and final 22nd pass. And that family, at least on her side, extends to a couple of up-and-coming skiers whom we saw a little bit earlier on in the competition in the junior divisions, Bennett and Claire Covington. So good effort from one end of the course to the next. That is Laurie Kruger. All right, then, just to remind you that one of our webcast sponsors is Splash Eye, who bring to you tournament water skiing software since 1996. Over 120 installations in 20 countries around the world, and they've been present here at the National Championships 10 out of the last 11 times. You can check out their specials by going to splasheye.com/nationals. That is splasheye.com/nationals. Here comes Laurie Kruger. Coming in second and final 22nd pass. One of only 2 competitors in the Masters Women's division. Continuing to roll, there we go, toe wake back and toe wake front. Jockeying from one end of the course to the next, nicely done. 2 stand-up runs, she she'll be happy with that. So, Laurie Kruger, now we go into our very last tricker of the day here on Lake One. It's going to be Brandy Nagel. All right, then, our very last tricker of the day here on Lake One, at least for the time being. We've got Brandy Nagel. Nicely done with the edge there, wake line 5 front. Step sequence on the outside of the wake, going very, very smooth from one end of the course to the next. Keeping it flowing, wake 5 front to the back, wake 5 front, reverse. Wakos and a couple of sides at the end. A good looking sequence, no messing about there for Brandy Nagel. All right, here we go now. Got Brandy Nagel looking at the tail end of the replay on pass number 1. Here she comes, pass number 2. Going through the initial tricks, I believe, started with the toe 7 front. There we go, toe 5 front. Toe wake go, toe wake back, toe front. Nicely done. Stays with the pass. Beautifully executed tricks there from Brandy Nagel. Turned into the reverse toe back to produce the toe wake back to back. And a superlative effort here from Brandy Nagel. Now, whether it's going to be anywhere close to Laurie Kruger's total, we've yet to find out. But Both of those competitors stood up each of their runs. So no full separating either of those two. So that brings us to the end of tricking on a Thursday here on Lake One as part of the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships. For those of you that are watching the archive, it will be terminated pretty soon. Those of you that are watching live, stay on track with us because we will continue on to the jump event. Starting with girls 4, then going to girls 5, girls 3, then boys 3, boys 4, and boys 5. Jump event coming up, Lex. Stay with us with more live action from the 78th Goode Water Ski National Championships being brought to you here at Tri-Lakes in Zachary, Louisiana. We'll be back right after this.
This is a hat. You can get one anywhere, but today you're in Louisiana. You forgot your favorite one at home, of course, so you got this one and some change. You gave some of that change to the band who got your 2 left feet to dance, and a few dollars to a man who typed up a poem just for you. You saved the rest for a dozen fresh oysters and a Sazerac, one to feed your face, the other to feed your soul. The hat, it's your new favorite, because today you're in Louisiana.
All eyes on the way I vibe when I walk into the room. Wind blows underneath the soles of my brand